Episode 11. We are going to give it the old college try to see some things that we haven't quite seen. Primarily, now that we've done all of the things that I guess are part of what would be considered completion, other than achievements. Mainly 100% on the ARS, all the items, and all the upgrades, as well as the best ending with everyone alive at the end. We're gonna go for some bonus stuff. This is all, I guess, just some extra content that I guess I'm slightly interested in. Mainly Nephilim and other things that are, I suppose, integral to the design of a Metroidvania. Things like sequence breaking and how that affects the game. Little things like that I'm interested to see in for myself. I was watching certain speedrun videos showcasing some sequence breaking that would make it maybe interesting to see how exactly characters interact in cutscenes, if any different at all. Hopefully there's something worth seeing here. Otherwise we're just going for the cookie. I guess I'll let the cutscenes run out. Won't bother reading anything that I read before, though. It's actually been a while since I last played, but starting out from this all again, way back at the beginning, feels weird not having any of the abilities, not even the dash. And there's the dash. There were some interesting techniques that were showcased in that speedrun that I saw, with the way this dash works. Mainly how you can sort of pivot around and get the speed. Something like this. If you dash in this direction, you can turn around and run to the right. It's a minor thing, but it lets you get some speed, I guess. And that's just something that you know is there if you've, I don't know, played the game before. I just happened to figure out that that was there based on the item that we get. That points out where all of the upgrades that you don't, or that you haven't collected yet are. It feels like that's the only one in the game that's hidden in a wall. So maybe it's actually meant for speedrunning purposes or something. An early Laguna upgrade that you can get from Silex. Way early on. Basically beelining my way to Nephilim as much as I can. Within my own comfort. There was this interesting move they did in the speedrun, where they just took this thing out to the wall. Seems like a pain in the ass to do, though. Let's see, where do I go from here? Was it this way? Right, here we go, the boss fight. Knowing what I know now, can I beat this guy super quick? It's not like I've had a lot of practice against this guy, but I just know how to play the game is all. Right, I can't dodge through that anymore. One cycle. That for it. I remember thinking it sort of weird that Silex felt like the main character at the start. Normally this kind of character, the gruff, grizzled veteran or whatever, not always the main character depending on what kind of game you're playing. And lo and behold, Laguna kind of becomes the starring role a bit later on. Now this is what I was talking about with that whole speedrun tech. It was used for speedrunning, but it's also just good for general sequence breaking, where you turn around kind of like this, and you can make your way up. You can tell that the roof is slightly curved upwards, or because of that upwards curve, the developers probably designed it this way so that you can actually do this little sequence break without Laguna's air dash or Charlotte's whip. I'm pretty sure this is what this is for. You have to kind of utilize some coyote time falling off a ledge, from what I can tell, so you don't hit your head on the ceiling. Almost had it. The speedrunner that I watched did it the first time in their video. Just gotta hit a bit later. Game is maybe more generous with coyote time than I realized. There we go. Wait, now what? How did they do it in the video? Maybe this isn't as intended as I thought, or I'm missing something with the mechanics. The speedrunning community doesn't seem very large for this game, so any guides that I was trying to find online, well, the only thing I could find were videos. I think there was a trick that I saw at some other point in the video, where they did a flip in the air and then a switch to Laguna, and that somehow gave some extra height. I don't see it though. Maybe I'll actually pause the video here real quick, just to double check that. I do want to get that sequence break, just so that I can see any changes in dialogue. Okay. I was watching Koatal's speedrun on YouTube. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it was exactly what I thought it was, just tighter inputs. I'm not sure why this works the way that it does, but you just do this. And somehow that gives you a little bit of extra height as Laguna. Still not actually sure if that's intended or not, but it felt like it is. I don't know. At least the way the ceiling is designed over here, it feels like that's intentional. Maybe I'm just connecting the dots or creating patterns where there aren't any. And another thing here, being able to use the curve of the ceiling here to do this little skip. Damn. Not a huge time loss or anything, but... Well, yes, it is a huge time loss, but... in terms of a speedrun, but not for me. The main thing I'm after is the dialogue. Anything we can get out of sequence breaking. Don't even have a dash as Laguna. Anything I'm forgetting? Don't think so. It's hard to tell. No, wait. We did the sequence break, so we go down now. This lets you go past the HQ, so you don't even get the cutscene where you talk to the boss as Laguna and Silex. So skipping that, you don't get an introduction of Laguna as the protege to the curatives, no new member introduction or whatever. Don't even get to talk to Charlotte, though that's more minor, I guess. So I'm curious with how things play out a little bit later. Do we need to break this? I don't remember. I think we do. With how things play out later, is the boss going to recognize Laguna immediately, or does the game change itself based on how we skip through? I'm beginning to doubt that it might, based on the finagling we had to do like that to get the extra jump. Since that seems unintended. I have trouble remembering where I'm going here. Did I go the wrong way? No, surely not. It's this way, right? Right, this is looking more familiar. We just come over here for the upgrade. I'm glad the speedrun routing has you get the dash on Laguna quickly. Not just the ground dash, but the air dash. But mainly the ground dash for speed. The speedrun I was watching made liberal use of this, obviously, because you play as Laguna probably the most out of any character. The speedrun did not go for this, but I feel like I need it more than the speedrunner. And the other place was down towards the stomach. Interestingly, you don't even need to go to the lungs whatsoever at any point in the speedrun. It's not even a sequence break. I just didn't realize the lungs the entire time were an optional area. And actually, come to think of it, the speedrun skipped over a lot of these campsites. Some of them they didn't, some of them they did, but I'm pretty sure they skipped over the ones that would have triggered these cutscenes. The in-game timer doesn't really keep going as long as you're not playing the game, so in the middle of a cutscene the time doesn't count. But I'm sure they skip it because it just ruins the momentum whenever you're dashing around as Silex or whatever, if they pause to go into a cutscene. The routing for this basically has you get the 2 upgrades for Laguna, with the skip that I mentioned of not going to HQ, which would have directed you, sort of, to get those upgrades, just wandering around and talking to people. That's what the beginning of this game was. So Laguna is still Silex's trainee, even though he hasn't been over to HQ yet. I guess when they went to the HQ, they made it official with the boss, but from the very first conversation they had after the first boss battle, Laguna was kind of the trainee. And now we have Bubble. Interestingly, that's all you really need to continue onwards. which I'll get to in a second. Once we run past this area, there's a cutscene that was skipped in the speedrun that I'm interested in seeing. Right around a little bit further in. Just around the corner now. I always thought Laguna's little upward stash was pitiful in how little height it gave you, but after playing the game for so long, you begin to feel how useful it can be, mainly in tandem with other abilities, if you use it right, which I'm not. Right around over here, just around the corner. Damn. It keeps happening. The scary thing about speedrunning this game is that you have to do all manual saves. Of course, it's assumed that you never die during a speedrun, but it'd be scary to lose all that progress to one mistake. Now this is the cutscene that I was talking about. Only 2 lines of dialogue basically, but we triggered the next thing without even triggering the thing down here. In fact, the speedrun never even comes into this room. I thought this was a necessary story event my first time through, because you witness, in a way, the jailbreak that... I guess it's up? I don't remember the map. Right. You witness the jailbreak that happens right before your very eyes when FB teleports everyone out. But that rumbling just now, I guess, was FB teleporting everyone out, sort of. Here's another kind of sequence breaky thing. Maybe if I can get it right. How'd it go again? Something like this? That wasn't it. I think it was more like... Nope. Don't want to change direction. That was weird. Something about the way that works. Was it actually starting as this? There we go. Actually, could you just have jumped up here? No. I think you previously needed Charlotte to get up there. That was the way that you would access Peak Skewed. But now, doing what we just did, we can go there way earlier. The speedrun didn't make a detour up there, but I will. As soon as I figure out where I'm going. Well, I guess we can stop down here quickly. Another place the speedrun didn't go, but I like the site I'm on. Silex. When you talk to Christy, that's when you get the item that gives you the Aeroras Vitality in the bottom right. And if we never talk to her, we'll never really know what exactly the health is for the Aeroras. Interestingly, the speedrun also does not go for that. No need for it. Do we need Charlotte here? It would make sense to need Charlotte. Is there any way we can finagle our way up there? That seems like something you might be able to do. Maybe. It seems kind of far though. Damn. You know what? Maybe I'll just leave. Wait, I can't leave. I'm stuck. Did I sequence break myself into oblivion? Is that possible in this game? Well, I can always die, I guess. I just wanted to talk to some people before we got Charlotte. Alright, now that everyone's away, can we do anything about this? We've got a few maneuvers we can do. Gotta make sure we use up Laguna's dash, and then use the dash plus switch combo that gives some extra height as Laguna. It all happens in one sequence. Didn't get the switch. Almost. It's hard to input. There we go. And we can probably make this. This feels like it's almost intentional. And what's the height look like? That's about half the screen. And this... maybe around the same height? I don't know. Maybe we have to jump from up here? Can we do that? I think we can. We might not even have to do anything fancy. We can maybe just... yeah. And there we go. We got this early. Normally we can only get this when we come back here way later. With Salix's teleport. And maybe this is as far as you can go with sequence breaking. No chance to actually talk to people up there. That's really all I wanted though. I didn't want that item. But good to know you can't sequence break yourself into oblivion where you have to kill yourself. Seems like this was actually, potentially, designed to give you an in and an out if we consider this maneuver intended. This one. That very specific maneuver. Weird. But I like it. Oh right, this thing. Does breaking this thing let you sequence break at all? Because my knowledge of the game now lets me know that you can break this thing before getting Salix's teleport, which is when I broke it in my normal, first playthrough. But you can just jump through the wall around here and break it, which would let you go down here. But you could just end up going around this way, but that would be a lot longer. You'd have to find your way all the way over here, I guess. Come out this way as normal, then go down here, come out this, or not come out this. Exit here to clear up this blockage, and then go out this way. A huge detour, which you could just solve by breaking this. So this sequence break, quote unquote, would let you go down this route earlier without ever going into HQ. So actually, no, you would still need to break this one using the same weird jumping maneuver that I did way back here before you could come back for... no, wait. Coming up here breaks the blockage over here. And this is where I took it in, so... yeah, I think this is the original, what we could call the B tier sequence break. Where, if you were playing the game normally, you would come up around this way, go through the wall, which is just a hidden wall, break this, and instead of going into HQ, come back around this way, and down to get the dash and the bubble first, as we did. But that's just the B tier sequence break. The A tier one is to do what we did that was in that speedrun, and break this one, which may or may not be intended. Either way. We're over here now. Safety safe. Well, peak skewed is a no-go, not without Charlotte. I think we have to go this way. It's hard to remember which paths are available to you without whichever character. Damn. Gotta remember, I can also do recovery things. After I get knocked down on the ground, press the dash button. I guess I could try it. I didn't think I had what it takes to do what the speedrun did here, but... let's see, what did they do exactly? They didn't use the bubble, so I guess they just did the same thing. Starting with Laguna, and then, yeah, just enough height. Nope, no swamp. Again, no swamp. How exactly does it go? Dash and then swamp in succession, like a 1 frame distance or difference. Nope, gotta swamp before that. There we go. Don't need the bubble, although you do need the bubble to activate the actual boss fight here. I'm pretty sure. So here's Pipin without ever having ever met him in the prison. And actually, without all the upgrades, I'm not confident in taking him down. Damn. Tried to dodge through it. Now he's got the big bomb move, which I'm super afraid of. Actually, this is a bit nerve-wracking. Damn. No way. I don't think I have what it takes. Is what a loser would say. Okay, I died. Let's practice this once more. Nope. Too slow. Would be quicker just to get the block out, but I like practicing this thing. There we go. I guess I could remove that shortcut. But I'm not gonna die this time. No, that's not fair. He wasn't facing that way. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm going down way quicker this time. didn't do it fast enough. It's over. No way. That becomes way harder if you can't get rid of his, or prevent his blood ability. At least I'm getting, I hope, better at this jump. Kind of. But, let's actually open the shortcut. How'd I do this the first time anyway? Obviously I had more power-ups, but what was my strategy? Just kind of lay into him, right? That's right, I lamed him out exactly this way. His pattern is exploitable this way. He always goes for the big dash, and then oh shit. He's actually not that hard. Until he gets this move. And he's way faster now too. Damn. We can kill him. There we go. Just gotta lame him out. Then we got wall jump. Which Sazik's had the whole time. Don't really see Clyde walking around like that after this. It's funny to see his sprite. He looks so short, doesn't he? You know, the first time I was playing this game, I was so certain we were gonna have a Clyde boss fight or something. I guess that's just good writing or something. You never expect that you'd lose your mentor so quickly. Especially after getting the wall jump upgrade. And it happens so quickly. No real time to digest what's going on while you get digested. Actually, I can understand why now. In the speedrun, they don't equip this onto Silex or Laguna. They kind of skip it. Mainly just for speed, but it makes this cutscene happen quicker. If you don't have the extra resistance. And notably, they would have given you the Purity Stone here if you somehow skipped getting it, like you do in a speedrun. so that you can actually survive this area. Again, good anti-sequence break game design, or the opposite, perfectly taking into account sequence breaking, allowing people to sequence break, not anti-sequence break. Oh, no dashing underwater. Uh-oh. This could be bad. Gonna have to actually be a little bit careful here. Safety save. I think from this point on we just play as normal until we get Charlotte. So we didn't really get any sequence break dialogue yet, but... Ah, forgot about that. I went the wrong way. But we can actually check pretty soon if we do get some sequence break dialogue once we get back to HQ. Which way are we going? I guess it's over this way. Oops, that's not jump. Bitch. You bastard. This part. It seemed like the speedrun didn't really have a good way of getting around this. It just kind of had to do it mostly as normal. Seemed like a pretty big time sink. Pushing around this little block. And you have to be very precise about it too. Can't push it too far. Right, I have to go back down myself. The only little trick the speedrun could do was kind of do some damage boosting to the spikes without jumping down, and that was it. Can we sequence break to Grandpa? I guess not. But we could have maybe come back here with Silex a little bit earlier. Damn. Nope. That would kill a speedrun right there. Having to go all the way back around like this. Better just kill the guy rather than try to jump over him. See if we can get some health. And now FB again. We are pretty low on health, actually. I'll try to be careful. Actually, I guess we can equip this thing. Picked it up by accident, but it's the only thing we got right now. Damn, it doesn't charge too quick. Give me that. Alright, now, the moment I've been waiting for. Now that Silex is not in the party. Oops. Damn. If I can get there without dying. Uh-oh. That was almost pretty bad. Now that Silex isn't in the party, and we're back at HQ. Damn. I spoke way too soon. We're all the way back here. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe this. You know, it's extra insulting that I have to do this damn puzzle again. If I had to fight those enemies, that'd be one thing. At least that's fast-paced. But this damn puzzle... is that too far? Good. And just equip this thing ahead of time. I'm gonna need it. FB again. And let's actually make it back to HQ this time. Damn. This guy's pretty heavy. A lot of damage. Can we just skip it? Not really. Let's play it safe, I say as I get hit. Let's actually not play it safe and skip this guy. Actually, I guess that is safer than taking him on. Less chances to fail. Okay, this is what I've been doing this entire video for. That and Nephili. Is there a dialogue difference? Is this the first time we've met, Commander? Damn. I was really hoping that this would be, I don't know, a slight dialogue change, but that would be too much work. I guess I'm asking for too much. That's fine. Oh. I kind of skipped over it quickly, but I guess the dialogue does change since she's giving us the meter now. Right. It doesn't just skip over that if you don't do it the first time you talk to her, or the first time you would have talked to her with Silex. I kind of wish I didn't skip through that too quickly. But I guess since I'm recording this, I have the option of rewinding, so I'm glad I'm recording it. There's probably no real difference to it, but I guess the dialogue is slightly different depending on where you talk to her in the game and get this little meter, if you do it at all. Well, now that we have that, I'm pretty sure this is all the same. You have the option of talking to Charlotte the first time you come to HQ, but I believe this conversation goes down the same way as if they've only barely talked to each other or never met. This dialogue works both ways. And she's telling us to help her get her whip upgrade. Oops. Yeah, without that whip upgrade, it's pretty painful to play as her. Sorry, Charlotte. Does this work as Charlotte? No, it seems to only work with Silex's dash, the extra momentum you get. And it might only work when swapping to Laguna, not even other characters. Now what we need is way over here. I'm starting to get fuzzy on the exact details of where we go for this speedrun, but yeah, I guess we go down into here, up through here. I should have cleared this out, but I guess I forgot. And just make our way back through over here, at the top. Must be. Has to be. This is marked on the map to go to the lungs, but you never have to go there. This way. Back around here. Maybe I should have gotten some upgrades. Be a little bit safer. I had so much trouble with piping. And that guy's like the easiest boss. No, wait. I went the wrong way. It must be hard being a speedrunner, remembering all of the directions you have to go in. This is the intended way to go, right? Yeah, it is. Not that hard to maneuver. Just not used to using that without Charlotte's grapple. I guess I'm spoiled. And I guess we're entering this the opposite direction. How'd I do it normally the first time? I guess I went around this way somehow? There must have been an entrance over... That's right. I guess I came up through the stomach the first time. You can use the route up as Clyde, I think, this way? Or something. But this seems perfectly normal. Not exactly a sequence break, maybe it is. Just an alternate route. Not everything's a sequence break. Here we are. Charlotte's pivotal upgrade. A lot more useful than I gave it credit for. Also useful as an attack, I guess. Again, more than I gave it credit for. Ah, and this would have been another skip that would have happened during the speedrun, jumping over this checkpoint. If you jumped over this checkpoint, would a different checkpoint give you the same cutscene? I imagine it might have, but maybe not. Now that we did that, we want to go to Peak Skewed, I think. I tried to write down the exact pathing here, but after this... Nope, I didn't write it down. Which route do we take to go to Peak Skewed? Maybe we just go down here to the stomach? Couldn't be. Must be back up here? Yeah. That seems to be the fastest. Move. This doesn't exactly seem familiar. Maybe the speedrun just went by so quickly I don't remember what this looks like. Don't want to have to face another reset. No. No, the speedrun definitely went somewhere else, didn't it? I don't have to go the exact route of the speedrun, but... it's nice to retrace the steps of someone who actually did go through all that trouble. No, this isn't it either. They definitely didn't go through this. Maybe it was actually up there. Oh, that happened. We're in the middle of a cutscene. It feels like these guys were still attacking us during that cutscene. Kinda weird. Okay, so if the speedrun didn't go through that room, then they did go up. I just was remembering it wrong, I guess. It must have been as I said. They sped through it so quickly, I didn't have time to remember. Oops. Not just knowing where to go, but also, in general, swapping between characters. I can't imagine a speedrunner wrapping their head around that. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but actually playing the game, playing it myself, it feels like a skill I would struggle with, so I can't imagine it in other people's heads. But it's the same thing for me in fighting games. Simply can't imagine how people wrap their head around that kind of speed, even if I understand the concept. Yeah, this was definitely it. The route to Peak Skewed kind of went back and forth like this, to get her upgrade and then come back. Oh, that's bad. Am I gonna be okay against Nephili? The other part that worries me about learning the speedrun, the weird thing that people are going to have to do, or that they have to do, is remembering which parasites you have to kill, which ones are critical to pathing. If you find yourself killing the wrong one, or rather the opposite, not killing the right one, that's a huge time sink. You have to go all the way back and all around. Going down a single wrong pass in these veins makes you go all the way around the air rest just to get back to where you were, because there's no way of going back. These are all one way. I guess it's not too hard to remember which ones you have to kill, but again, for me, it's hard to wrap my head around. Now for this next part, you don't actually need to talk to her. I guess that's obvious, but there's an entire scene where you fight a bunch of people in that room. A speedrun skips right over talking to whatever her name was. What was this again? Any useful to us? Right, the sandals. I guess they might be useful. We don't have anything equipped on her anyway. Now even though the speedrun skips it, this is the whole reason we're here. For cookies. Wendy, that's her name. What's the best way of dealing with this for now? I guess going this way? Damn. And very important, take the spoiled cookie and equip it. That's what I was missing before. Let's get the dialogue with Laguna. Why not? Just gotta make sure we enter the boss room as Laguna. I'll go a little bit over on time just because this is the whole reason I came here. See this one special scene, which is tied to an achievement. Man, speedrunning. Must be a pain in the ass. Shit. I might be dead in the water. If I'm not careful. There's a checkpoint soon, right? Maybe? Oh! I forgot. So much health, that guy. Alright, where was I going? How do we go from here? This way, right. I remember, there was a Clyde route and then there was this route. So we could go up to Nephilim now, but... Right, we just need to do this. Oh, I see. I was going to jump down here and clear open this so we would have a direct route to the checkpoint down here. But there is a checkpoint right before Nephilim, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright. Let's get that dialogue. Well, I can guess who you are, Nephilim. Leave Peak-Skewed alone and we won't have to fight. Is that so? I mean, I do have one small question. Who gave you permission to speak to me? Hey, give me back my cookie. So warm. Thanks for the gift. Anyway, my deal with that village is more than fair. Look at it this way. They supply me with a few trinkets and pastries, and in return, I don't freeze them all to death. But it sounds like you need to be reminded what happens when that deal gets broken. No mention of the cookie. That was a spoiled one, yes? Damn. Wait. I never learned how to deal with that attack. We don't even have Clyde. Not that he would have helped, but still. I don't know. I guess we don't have to worry about it if we do enough damage. What about that stomachache, though? Well, we got the dialogue about her stealing our cookie. At least that was different. You know, this part was intimidating the first time, but thinking about it, there isn't too much going on. Not that there has to be. Just have to dodge that one attack and then get inside, and dodge a few more attacks inside. But the main draw is the set piece, isn't it? Oh wait, there was an attack I didn't see. Some kind of claw attack I've never seen before. Oh dear, that's such heavy damage. There we go. Failed by the cookie. Wow. I was actually worried we weren't going to make it. But we made it. No, Nephilim, you were beaten by a cookie. That is embarrassing, though. It was all worth it in the end. I am struggling with the controls once more, for whatever reason. Should be an upgrade over here. Right. One for Charlotte. Would have been helpful before the boss. Think we're headed this way. And here we are. Alright. Even though we had to go on a little bit longer to see it, I'm glad we saw it. But we're not done with this save file. We have a little bit more that I still want to do in this game. Before we move on to that though, now would be a good time to take a break.